Hello, it's Veronica and Naomi, and today we're going to talk about something that people have been interested in. Who are our top 10 favorite Shadow High dolls? And we made sure that we have all the dolls on our list with us for doing this video because it wouldn't have been possible if we had gotten Scarlet so early. Yeah, she's on the top 10 list despite being really new. So we're going from favorites from top to the bottom. So for the top of the list, obviously me and my sister. Me being first favorite, her being the second favorite. And that's because we are our Dollmates Comfort dolls. We're best friends, but also objectively as dolls, we are gorgeous and we represent the Shadow High line really well. With the muted color schemes and the darker colors and the more gothic style, like when Adame thinks of Shadow High, she thinks more gothic, more alternative. Color schemes Rainbow High doesn't really do, but she feels like we embody this perfectly, despite having more color in our color scheme than some other dolls on this list. She just loves everything about our designs. She can't fault us at all. Even my gum thing, the gimmick with it, while it's awkward, it's like she doesn't hate it and she still thinks I'm breathtakingly beautiful. So yeah, we're the favorites and it should be really obvious. And yeah, and in past videos we have discussed how we comfort Dolly all the time, how we're always there for her, how we're more like best friends, and family, even her daughters to her. So it should be obvious that we're the favorites. But like the others on this list definitely have like other reasons. So the third favorite. What are Dolomite feels? What Shadow High is. It's not afraid to be goth. It's not afraid to be alternative. It's not afraid to have a darker take on the dolls and their fashion choices. Like, really, it's not afraid to do that. And that's what she feels Shadow High is. It's darker, it's edgier. It's just more interesting than Rainbow High has something Rainbow High doesn't have. And that's what all these dolls here kind of embody a bit. Something Rainbow High could never do with their dolls. Or how they're styled at that school. So, for our third favorite, this may be interesting, considering how much we talked about how much we like the grayscale, but Demi's our third favorite. And the reasoning for this one is it's because she reminds our doll mommy of Elizabeth from Monster High. She embodies what I wishes Monster High Generation 3 could be. Like, she's just kind of the embodiment of that. And it's just, she's more gothic. She's more alternative. She's just different that way. And it's just, and her color scheme, yeah, it's brighter, but it doesn't look bad. It looks flattering on her. It looks very interesting and cool. And then you have all the detail with her hair bows and her clothes, and it's just, she's amazing. Like, if you want a vampire doll, Demi is your doll. She's stunning. She's beautiful. She has that aesthetic. But she's also dark and gothic and just, and definitely a bit alternative in the way she dresses. So it's like, she's a really nice, her style's really nice. And I don't mind dairy style her a little bit, but like, she's a doll who doesn't even need to be restyled because she looks so good in her original clothes. Now, another doll that we feel like is very, very solid at the number 4 spot is Heather. Now Heather is the embodiment of how Adami feels Shadow High should be. Yeah, she plays with the black and white color scheme really well. She's alternative and goth. Even if she isn't as dark as dolls like us or Glitch or Ainsley. Like, you take one look at this doll and her style and every piece of clothing she comes with. She's alternative. She's goth. She isn't normal. And that's what everyone likes about her. Heather isn't afraid to be something that isn't normal. Heather isn't afraid to dress alternative and goth and look good in it. Like, most of the pieces she has on are her own pieces, except for those fishnets. And her pieces are very solid, they're very strong, and they work really well for all the Grayscale Shadow High dolls. So, that's why Heather's so high up on this list. And aesthetically, she's just striking. Like, the blue eyes with, like, this gorgeous black and white color scheme she has. It's very beautiful. It's very unique and just very different. Like, she's one of those dolls where you can't help but look at her because she's so striking and so interesting. And the black lip really does make her look so good. And the additional glitter in her makeup that a lot of the other dolls don't have as much. It really makes her stand out. It really shows this character does makeup stuff in her canon. And even the simplicity of her clothes. It's like, they're not the most elaborate, but they're so good and they look so amazing on her. And every doll who wears them pretty much. So that's why Heather is so high up on this list. And she's our best friend. So of course Adami does have a bit of a soft spot for her, knowing her connection to us. For the 5th spot, we have Ainsley. So Ainsley, she's both a gorgeous doll and the only Shadow High doll with a natural skin tone. Because her character transfers her from Rainbow High Shadow High. But she is on this list and not the Rainbow High list because, like, her clothes elevate her so much. Not only is her hair beautiful, especially when you add a wraparound to her ponytail, her face is so striking when you get one without staining. And her clothes, they're just so invaluable for restyles. Like, every piece of clothing she comes with is incredible. Like, you can't question it. Seriously, her clothes are amazing. And it's just, she looks so good on the shelf. And she's versatile enough to where you can put her on a Rainbow High shelf or a Shadow High shelf and she'll look good. She'll look really, really good. And also, she's definitely one of the best black themed dolls in the line. Because those clothes elevate her. They make her look so amazing. And just so striking. Like, seriously. If you don't have an Ainsley, get her. Because her clothes will be invaluable to your restyles. Trust us on this one. And something else about her that gets her in such a high place. Her character bio. The moment Adami read her character bio, she loved how relatable it was. Like her not being on best terms with her sister who's going to medical school or something. And how, like, her path in life is just different from, like, what her family does. And it's just... And also how she's a perfectionist, obviously. Yes, Adami is a perfectionist. And that's something that she finds very relatable about Ainsley. In fact, Ainsley reminds her a lot of her real-life personality. And it's just, it's crazy how similar it can be at times. So yeah, Ainsley is so high up on the list because she's relatable and her clothes are amazing and she just has a good design. She's an amazing, beautiful doll all around. Yeah, that's why Ainsley is in the 5th spot. That's what makes her special. And now in the 6th spot, we've got Glitch. So Glitch is in 6th spot, not because she has a particularly an interesting character bio or anything, but like it's her design. Like the kind of bluish, purplish blue tone of her skin, the midnight blue of her hair, the nice high ponytail in her hair that sometimes needs to be fixed annoyingly. And her outfit is so solid. You don't need to change her outfit at all. So, and also her face is beautiful and striking, and her eye color is so unique in Shadow High Line. Yeah, Glitch really is just a very striking, beautiful doll who just doesn't need to be restyled, and her design is so strong and so solid. Like, she's a great doll. She definitely embodies what Shadow High is. The black, the glitchiness, the darker color scheme. Yeah, she definitely feels like and looks like a Shadow High doll when you look at her. And that's what all these dolls have in common. For Dami, they look like a Shadow High doll to her in some way, shape, or form. And now, the 7th entry is an interesting one. She's really new, but Scarlet. Yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing one of the dolls as like more brightly colored on this list on here, isn't it? But Scarlet is interesting because she embodies what Shadow High is because her original doll does have some gray and black clothing pieces with her pants and her boots. So paired with the maroon, it's still a nice, darker, more muted Shadow High color scheme. And it looks amazing. Another thing that makes her a favorite is that she's a bookworm. And her character writes stories, and Adami finds that relatable. Like, she always grew up reading a lot. Like, a lot of fantasy novels. And with Scarlet, well, Scarlet literally has, like, miniature books that are, like, more fantasy type stories, which is just, it's so cool to see that representation. Even in doll accessories. It's like, her accessories are so solid and good. And her face, it's so striking and so beautiful. It makes her such a good base doll. Like, seriously. She may be new, but she's high up on this list because of those reasons. And also because of how unique her color scheme is. Yes, there are very few red dolls in the whole Rainbow High, Shadow High line. And it's just, and Scarlet just, she is a stunning example of how to make a good red doll. Like, the burgundy color is beautiful and unique. Her hairstyle is unique. Her eye color and her, like, skin tone are very striking. And, like, she's just a very striking doll. Who also knows how to stare at the camera as well as I do. So, yeah. She has the stare. But other than her having the stare, it's like, she's just so beautiful, so striking, and the thing with her being an author and a bookworm is relatable. So that's why she's high up on this list, despite being a doll who needed a restyle. Because she's so beautiful, despite that, and it's just, she's amazing. Now for the 8th spot on this list. It's Uma. Now, Uma takes up the 8th spot because she reminds our Mommy of Princess Luna from My Little Pony. And she also likes how distinct and unique her makeup is. And And all her clothes are amazing. Like, seriously, every piece of clothing Uma comes with, looks very good on her. It's very beautiful. And her skirt is amazing. Her heels are amazing. Her jacket is amazing, even though we never take it off her. And she also has this very alternative look about her, which we feel like the alternative look that she has captures what Shadow High is. It's not normal like Rainbow High. It's not afraid to be goth or alternative at times. It's not afraid to have stuff like spikes and accessories or studs all over pieces of clothing to make it look a little edgier. It's amazing like that, and we feel like Uma captures the idea of what Shadow High is, despite not being like a more muted color doll even. Like, because the contrast of the black and the blue and the white within her clothing, it's very nice, and it makes it so much easier on the eyes. Like, it looks beautiful and flattering on her. Like, we have mentioned that we're not as much of a fan of bright colors, but for Uma, it works because there is contrast in that design. It's beautiful, it's unique, and oh yeah, I saw these bracelets from Uma, so of course she had to be on the list. And the hat she comes with this is really cute as well, but we don't have it on her right now. Because we like her to just kind of style her out a little. But yeah, she has a really nice color scheme. Her clothes are alternative. She just feels very Shadow High with her aesthetic. And the 9th spot is going to be interesting. Carla. So with Carla, she's not that goth. She's not that alternative, but she still has a nice contrast with her color scheme. Like, you have the pale pink, but you also have like the black and silver and white in it, and it just looks very striking. Makes her look really beautiful. And her eyelashes make her look very unique. Make her face look very different. Like, she really stands out. And her gloves look really good on her too. Her accessories are also very solid and just... But what really solidifies her spot on this list is her catchphrase, which is, "I don't believe in normal." This catchphrase really struck a chord with our doll mommy, and she really related to it. So Carla is on this list because, like, her catchphrase is just amazing. And also for a pink doll, her style is just so unique and individual. Like, it may not be goth, but it's very unique. It's very individual, and it stands out on a shelf. Like she's a beautiful example of how good a pink doll could be when done right. When made to look more unique. And it's just, yeah, Carla is great because of that. And now for our 10th favorite spot, it's Chanel Onyx. So Chanel's on this list because every one of her clothing pieces looks really good. Like, yeah, it's more couture, but like, a lot of her pieces are just simple and black and just, they kind of follow very black and silver theme. And it's beautiful. It's striking. It's very unique. And not to mention, her bow and her earrings are very good accessories. Like, they can be used for a lot of dolls, and they look so good, so great. Like, seriously, her earrings are so beautiful. And they remind her doll mom kind of earrings she likes to wear. So Chanel, what gets her on this list? Yeah, while she may have a bit of an ego in the show, she still cares about her friends. She is such a striking and unique doll. Like, look at her. Like, that is beautiful. The black with the pops of white and silver looks so good. It absolutely slays, and it's just, she is such a beautiful, striking doll. Even with so many of the other dolls out, like, it always feels like she's just a little bit prettier than them because, like, she's so striking and her clothes are so nice. Like she maybe be more couture fashion, but she definitely embodies what Shadow High is. Yeah, all the series one dolls do. And also a friend got her for a doll mommy, so she's also special for that reason. But overall, that is just who we feel are our top 10 favorite Shadow High dolls who embody what Shadow High is. Like, Shadow High is a doll line that isn't like Rainbow High, and each of these dolls embody that in some way. Like, whether they're more goth or alternative than Rainbow High could ever be, or like, they just have very striking color schemes or use of contrast in their designs that makes them stand out. Well, or even use more muted color schemes or darker color schemes that Rainbow High just doesn't normally use. Well, goodbye, mysterious audience. I love you. Naomi loves you. And that was our top 10 favorite Shadow High dolls video. I hope everybody has a good day.